Hello, sis. How you doing? Well, I'm here to talk to you some more. We've been doing that no more pain. Now, what I want to do is really help some women. I really want to help you because, as I've said before, you don't have to go where I've been. There are so many women who can tell you where they've been, so you don't have to tread that path. So, I want to talk about how important it is to change your mindset. It's very important to change your mindset. If you don't start to think different, you're going to keep getting the same results. They say that's what insanity is. Like, you keep doing the same thing over and over, but you're expecting different results. And I thought that you probably thought that you'd hear some jokes on here. You thought that this would be like busting your gut funny or something like that, but that's not what this is. It's like the only joke I've got right now is the joke about your standards. That's right, ladies. Some of us do not have standards. You don't. Um, we don't have standards. And then I'm thinking somebody can do something to you over and over and over again, and you'll keep trying. You'll keep trying for that thing, that person, whatever it is, that's no good for you. Something bad happens in your life one time, and you're done with the Lord. You're like, I'm done. I'm over it. I'm not going to church anymore. I'm not going to read my Bible. Why is that? Why is that? Like when you throw away your relationship with Christ, it's like throwing away the keys to your house. How will you get in? How do you do anything without him? And I know there are some of you all, praying is not your way and stuff like that. That's fine. It's my way. It's a lot of people's way. Whatever your way is, do it. And I pray that it works for you. Um, we tell ourselves over and over again that what we want is right. No matter how many people tell you it's wrong, no matter how much it hurts you, you tell yourself that it's right. And I know you're like, okay, because what I want is what I want. But that's not the way it is. Some of the things that you want are keeping you bound. And if you do not believe me, I'm going to believe it for you that you'll get out of that situation until you actually do. What is it that you're holding on to? Or what is it that's holding on to you? I mean, that you haven't changed your mindset about. And I'll give you time to think about it. In fact, I want you to get a pencil, pen, and some paper. I really do want you to take notes. Whenever you hear something that might help your life, take notes. Even if it's not me saying it and somebody else, take notes. That's important. Okay, that job, that job, it doesn't meet any of your needs. You're working in nursing, and that's not even what you've been called to do. You can't stand this job, but you're doing it because your mom did it, your sister did it, like somebody wanted you to do it. But you're not happy. Your mindset. You're letting other people think for you instead of praying about it and doing what it is that you need to do. Some of your kids, you're so connected, like you're living your life through your kids. You won't let your kids have their own life and they're grown. Some of the kids you're giving everything, and I get it. Like with my son, his father was not around. So I gave him that extra attention, that extra, the extra gifts and all the love I can give him. Although I love my child, I do think it's a hindrance when we give our kids everything. Maybe because you feel guilty or It just didn't go like that for you. So you give your child so much love, but you let them do everything they want to do. Again, you're letting your past talk to you about your future. You're not really doing what you need to do. It's the mindset. That relationship, that addiction, the way you see yourself. Some of you all, you see yourself just, you don't think anything of yourself. You don't have standards for how somebody should treat you. You don't even know what you'll tolerate and not tolerate. And I know I'm speaking to you right now. I mean, you're sitting next to somebody, don't look. Don't look. You're sitting next to somebody, but you know it's over. It's been over. But you're just holding on because you don't want your family to say something about what you're doing. You don't want to be judged about getting a divorce or separating because somebody who didn't even have good relationships told you you've got to stick and stay with that person. You're living for someone else. And it seems like it's like your life has been a joke, but you're the only one laughing, right? I mean, they're the only ones laughing. Correction. Like, everybody's laughing at you. Have you wondered why, like, the same things keep happening over and over and over again? I said it before, like, life is like a test. You're going to keep on having to take the test over and over and over again until you understand that you've got to pass that test. You always tell yourself, I'm going to do this next year. I'm going to do this better. I'm not going to be broke this year. You give yourself all these promises, but you let yourself down all the time. You don't even believe what you're saying. Like, it's a joke to wonder why you're broke and you don't even work. You're looking for a man to take care of you. I'm going to talk to you about that, sis, okay? You're looking for a man to take care of you like you saw your mom. Or maybe you had that aunt. She lived for people to take care of her. You do not have to lower yourself to do what a man wants you to do, to be exploited and everything else. You have the right to work. Some of y'all, you need to quit looking for handouts. You need to quit looking for people to save you and save yourself. You can get yourself out of a situation. You really can. Out of all the things I've said, the main thing I want to say is reset your mind. Without resetting your mind, you can go into another year. You can move to another city. You can have another guy. But if your mindset is still the same, you're going to have the same problems that you had. Because I know a lot of you have asked that question. Like, oh my God, what's happening? It seems like it's one thing after another. Every time I do this, this happens. Have you changed what you're doing? Have you changed what it is that you want? Like, a lot of you all, you love that bad boy. You love that bad boy until it's time to pay the bills. Because he won't work. He's a thug or whatever else. But that's what you like. And then you're heartbroken because this guy treated you a certain way. But is it possible that maybe you should try something different than what you're used to? I mean, it could be. It could be. Back to talking about money. Like, you got all these plans. You got all kind of stuff you want to do, right? But you only work 4 hours a day. You got 3 kids. You're going to always be reaching out for help, or you're going to always fall short of what you need if you're not doing what you need to do. I'm not going to say that sometimes life just doesn't happen, because it does. Sometimes you can be working and those bills still not be met. I mean, example, I was working. I was in a really bad relationship, and I really wasn't trying to let go, because I was like a lot of you all. I didn't want to be embarrassed in front of people. Like, I wanted to make the relationship work. I don't want to fail in a relationship, because I had never had family. Like, I didn't have that Huxtable family, that I wanted. I had that reality family. Didn't have a man who loved me or anything like that. It was just like I was doing what it took to try to live a fairy tale. And we talked about fairy tales before. Well, I did end up leaving. I got tired of the fighting. I got tired of all that stuff. And I ended up homeless. I won't say that I lived in the street, but I slept in the car. And I was just praying that they wouldn't take my car, because I was behind on the payment, because of this situation. Um, I didn't go, like, sleep with somebody and all that stuff to get money. You all know that I danced in the past, but it was like, okay, I had all these material things and I end up selling stuff. All that stuff was not going to do anything for me when I and my son needed to eat, because I allowed my daughter to go stay with her grandfather. Um, I was just telling this story before, and it's crazy because I could see it like it was yesterday. I went into an abandoned house. I put, changed the lock on there. I remember the bed laying by the window, the mattress on the floor. And I didn't know what my next step was, y'all. I didn't know. All I knew was to pray. Because I said, Lord, if you get me out of this situation, that I would do whatever you told me to. Sometimes when you say that, it's not going to be easy. I would go to the library to wash up with me and my son. And I know people are like, well, why didn't you reach out to family? Or why didn't... My son didn't have his dad. His dad didn't know his mom or anything like that. He was from foster home, foster home. Who was I going to ask to help, other than the Lord? Like I said, it wasn't a fairy tale. I laid there and I would think, and I'm like, ugh. Yeah, I went outside and turned the water on. I'm not the only one. Some of y'all did that too. And I knew how to turn the lights on. But when I turned that water on, they turned it back off. That's when I started going to the library. And I would sit there and put soap on my son. And then we go to the sprinkler and stuff. And he's just like, he's playing. But he was so young that he didn't understand that's what was going on. So I end up going back to what I knew, which is dancing. And making that money, I end up doing better. But I also got a call for a job, because Lord knows I did not want to dance again. I got a call for a job and it went up from there, okay? And I say that to say my mindset might have changed about not wanting to be in an abusive situation. But just because you change your mind, that doesn't mean that things are going to be easy. It doesn't. Life is going to happen no matter which road you choose. If you decide to play on Satan's field, it's going to be hard. If you decide to go to the Heavenly Father and play on his team, it's going to be hard. You're not going to just escape life. It doesn't happen that way. Believe me, if it did, I would have chose the path to get off of that and just fast forward. You know how on Mario, when you used to be able to skip levels? Hey, that would have been me. I'd have skipped some levels. But you don't always have to struggle with the same thing. Some of you all have been battling that same demon for time after time after time. Like, you should have slain that by now. You should have, but sometimes life is hard. It's hard to let that man go when that's all you're used to. Even though he talks to you like that and you don't like the way he makes you feel, it's something that keeps drawing him, you back to him, right? Those soul ties are a trip. I want you to look up what soul ties are. When you have sex with somebody, have you ever wondered why you start just, the feelings get deeper, faster? Like, those soul ties are for real. And if you're sleeping with multiple people, I know you're going all kind of crazy. Check soul ties out. But if you change your mind and you change your standards, get you some standards. Like I said, write that down. Get some standards. Said that before. It's not doing too much because you have standards. The problem is when you don't have any standards. I want you to write down where you are today. Go ahead, write it down. Then I want you to write down where you want to be. I have this plaque upstairs and it says, don't let your dreams be a dream. Although you write down what you want to be, I also want you to follow that with, what steps am I going to take to get to where I need to be? Because if you just write some stuff down and you don't write a plan on how to get there, then you're just writing and you're just using your imagination, but it's not going to work. Got to have a plan. Got to have some goals. Got to have some standards. Okay? I know you're asking, when will things change? I just told you, things will change when your mindset changes. It doesn't sound hard, but sometimes it's hard when you're used to doing one thing. Some people are so imprisoned in their mind that it's going to be hard for you to change it, but it's possible. I think I talked about this before, but there was a picture I saw, and I really want this picture, okay? It was a picture of a man, and there was a gate in front of him, and he was holding on to the bars, and it looked as if he was in prison. But when you look over, there was a entrance and an exit. Some of us are so caught up in our mind that we can't see a way out. Somebody can tell you about it. You hard-headed. You don't want to listen, think you know everything. But somebody can show you that the gate's open. But you swear that there's a trick to it. Sometimes there's not a trick to it. Sometimes God is opening doors for you to walk through, and you won't walk through them because you're skeptical. You're skeptical of every single thing and everybody. Somebody's trying to bless you, but you don't trust anybody. Change your mindset. Not everybody's out to hurt you. You've been hurt before, I get it. But not everybody is out to hurt you. That's not how it goes. And as your mind resets and you change, or you start to change, don't worry what people will think about your change. You're doing this for you, sis. You're not doing it for them. So it doesn't matter what the naysayers say. It doesn't matter what the haters do. Do this for you because you want a better life. Some of your mindsets, they're not your own. And what I mean by that is your mother did it that way and you watched her. Your grandmother did it that way. Your aunts and your friends, like, they did it that way, but just because they did it, that may not work for you. To tell the truth, it wasn't working for them either. You were probably too young to understand that. But now you're trying to walk in their footsteps. that they were walking in back in the 80s. It is 2021. News flash. What worked for them then does not work now. The only thing that still works is the blood. It is Jesus Christ. That still works. He is still like God. God is still God. The Holy Spirit still reigns. Like, it works. He works. He works. Um, some of you all won't move. You won't even try new food. Because in your mind, you don't like liver because your mom tried to feed it to you when you were younger. Or you didn't like the way a certain food looked, so you wouldn't eat it. But I'm telling you, if you try some new things, you'll be surprised at what you like. It's okay. You ain't got to like everything. I love you, sis. I really do. And I want you to change your mind. And as you change your mind, you'll start to reset your life. And I know you're going to have to do the work. I know that. But sis, I'm telling you, as you do the work, you're going to find out that that's all you needed. Once you do the work, your mindset will change. I love you, sis.